No! Should have gotten more coffee, is the bottom line. And yes, the text is backwards. I like it when my hand looks like this. This is my left hand. I'm holding up my left hand. I like it when I can see myself doing this, weatherman style. So I don't usually wear text or shirts with text on it, so it doesn't usually matter. But yes, so let's get over it. Let's move on. All right. So today, it's been last couple of days, been all kinds of, still working with the back problems, and that gets in the way. Seeing the doctor tomorrow. What's the levels like? Okay, there we go. Oh, do I want to move you closer? No. Well, somebody will tell me. So anyway, things have been kind of in and out, and I've been focusing on, I've got, I think, everything done except for, proper game content and balancing and stuff. But that's what the alpha is for. When other people, instead of me really deciding, they're spending a lot of time deciding, oh, we're going to make this a +2 and a +1, that's going to be weak. No, I'm going to just throw it out there and then let people tell me, oh, wow, that's way too strong, that's way too weak, That's what the players are for, to make, they'll tell me what's a fun experience. I'm putting together the product of game mechanics. So, that's where we're at. But also, we're doing stuff that's more in my actual wheelhouse of web development, which is buttons and notifications and your generic screens like, hey, do you want to confirm your email? Do you would sign up, that you can keep your account anywhere, that kind of stuff. So we're doing those things to make sure that there are feedback and just the general, it is a game that will have a price. It's free to play, but it wants to move you along to paid to play, and there needs to be the upsells, which is, in this case, there's, you got your marketing funnel, and so in our case, it's, top of the marketing funnel is you find out about the product, which is oh, I want to learn a language. Is there a language learning game? You're Googling that part, so that's the first top part of the funnel, and then the second part is they get to the website. Now, I've made the game so that you don't have to have an account. You can just play the game. So, from first layer to second layer, you can be playing the game in 30 seconds. From the time you click on that link, you hit the start button, you can be playing the game. An account is created, a headless account, is created behind the scenes. And now you're playing the game. Your data is saved, but the cookie is only on that machine, phone, or whatever you're playing on. And so, you like it, great. You don't like it, you never come back. I delete the account, 90 days from now. If ever, that's an issue for when you have millions of accounts and, but in general, the barrier to entry is very low. You just boop, boop, boop. So now you're on the third layer of funnel, which is you are playing the game, but you are not registered. So there needs to be something to tell you, hey, if you register, you get some extra benefits. Which, in this case, it's going to, I need to find, right now, there's no free-to-play. It's not your standard free-to-play that's all about just making your money. It's more along the lines of the Duolingo model, which is the main gist is free-to-play, but there are barriers to use the app as much as you want. I have not implemented any of those as such, and I don't really want to. Other than I know the first limitation that I'm going to put is you do not have access to the full depth of all the language courses. So the flashcard sets that you would have. Now, of course, right now, I've only got the 2, so that doesn't work either. But the theory is in there, right? If you like it enough that you're playing it and you want to save your progress, then you want to make an account. point I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter what the benefits are. You need to be reminded that they're benefits, right? You catch a person and you don't get in their way. Like, I don't require you to register to play the game. That's a barrier. That's, you know, that kicks a certain number of people out right there. Just having to put in an email or a password, or even if I one day make Google and, you know, Reddit logins, that kind of stuff. Like, those are all barriers to entry. There's none of that to start. So you get to play the game. But I need to remind you that you can register and then why you should. And where I'm going to do that is when you die in the game, because it's a roguelite, so you're going to die a lot. So when you die, there's a screen that says, hey. And there's 2 tiers, right? So you're a headless account. You don't have a registered email. So it'll say, hey, register. Here's some reasons you should register. And guess what? Boom. Here's the stuff to register. You know, the fields to register. Just do, click. And then off you go. And that makes it super simple. And if they don't want to do it, just click next and then keep playing. But they'll see it over and over until they do. Because if they're seeing it over and over, that means they're playing over and over. They like the game. They're invested in it. Eventually they'll be invested enough. Yes, I want to swap this to my tablet or my desktop machine, you know, or my phone, however they started, right? There will be the impetus eventually. And because of the nature of the game, it doesn't cost a lot of resources. There's no install. That's also a barrier that I've removed. I'm going to have one day, but there's no app. It's just a website. So then they come to the next layer of the funnel. They've created an account. Now, because again, I've not gotten anything. There's no ads on the website, and I'm going to struggle towards not putting any on there, right? Like, I don't want, for one thing, it's a nightmare in terms of, you know, privacy policies and rights and that kind of stuff. And because it's a website, something I'm going to start putting cookie banners and other kinds of bullshit on the site, and I just don't want to do that. So, plus I don't really plan to do there'll be analytics, but not for marketing purposes. In any case, now the next funnel is that they are a registered account, but not paying for the advanced or full suite of services. And the same thing, the same place. So now it was a screen that told you that you should register. It's a screen that tells you, hey, maybe you should consider paying. And then here are the reasons you should pay. I have that screen already. That screen's been done. Now, it's not actually hooked up to a payment service, so that's going to come. It's an alpha. I'm not there yet, but I'm going to get there. And so I need to make the screen that says why you should register. And it's going to basically just be a copy of the screen that says why you should pay, only the benefits and what's basically in the active section of the screen would be replaced with the why you should register part. And then you've basically got it where you've captured intent, or my intent, which is to move them along the funnel, which it is what it is. It'll be captured within the flow. And that'll just be one less thing from the outset. Because even in alpha development, I need money and I need people who support the project, right? This is one of those things where it's closer to a SaaS product than it is a game in terms of how people come to it and interact with it. It's providing a service, but the service of language learning while you're doing entertainment, right? So there's a heavy emphasis on entertainment, but you still have this key of I'm doing this to learn something. So it must be engaged with. If it was just engaged with as a game, you would lose. People wouldn't feel like they're getting their money's worth if it was just a game. Like, that's the one thing that language learning games have a problem, is that um, the game aspect is too much. So if you think about like 80-20 stuff, right? Like in general, educational games are 80% education and 20% game, and it's a terrible game, and therefore it doesn't do service to the education. My formulation is 80% game, but 20% education. And sometimes educational games will be like 90% game and 10% education. And so that 20 is important because you actually have to do that, but then the engagement with the 20% of that 80-20 means you treat it more like a SaaS app, which means there are a lot of settings and a lot of stuff that is more SaaS app stuff than game stuff. And so that's the stuff I'm building right now, is so that they're getting their, my account settings, in this case I added player flag, for identification later on when there's ranking the systems. And I want to kind of not do the username. You got a username, but that's just an avenue for the wrong kind of names, right? And so that's really hard to police because you just go over and over, and then stuff you overcorrect or you undercorrect, and it's a non-stop battle. So I've come up with the concept of flags, of banners, and you show those to start with, and then you can heavily people's identity are still, they're self-identifying through their flag, and then you can still have their username, but then you can treat their username a little more aggressively because that's not the core of their user account. Their flag becomes more important, and so that's what I'm working with for now. The point is, those are all really just SaaS app stuff, to be honest. And well, I mean, it's kind of boring. That's kind of part. It's like, that's not, when you talk about game development, that's not, shooting bad guys, but it's important. Getting around like the UI. Everyone complains about like Elden Ring UI, right? Because they're game makers. They're not UI makers, and they don't hire people, which they should, who makes UI. And even people who would some simple suggestions. So some pre-planning on your UI goes a long way for that kind of stuff, when really they just care about attack pattern, and it shows. But that's okay. They do what they do. I am more developer than game developer, so I've had decades of experience building these systems, and I'm just going to lean in on that. And so there's going to be a really well, you'll have all the stuff to get around the system, and it helps for me is it's really easy to find points where it goes, pay me, and then not in a way that's like, oh, you got to get 14 more gems. We only gave you 40 when you need 60, 4, and so boom. I guess that'd still be 24, but you get what I'm on point there. So I don't want to do that. I kind of just want to do the Duolingo model, which is you can play the game, but there are limitations, and if you're really invested and interested in continuing your education part of it, then you pay the money. We'll see how that goes in the long run. Sometimes you gotta make a pivot because your idea doesn't work, but I think that in general it should be fun. Anyway, for now, let's get into it. Alright, so first I'm going to check that my screens work. Browser. Code. Okay, there goes terminal. Alright, focal board, nope. Doesn't do that. Okay. We want the Illustrator for right now, so we'll close it. Close it. Photoshop. Gotcha. Obsidian. Gotcha. Okay. That's you. And I think we're good. Okay. So yeah, this is what I was talking about here is the little flag, which is now generated from pieces. So later on, people will get to pick their colors and their add 1 to 3 emblems, and then color them, size them, rotate them, that kind of stuff. Create an identity, and then of course they can change your username. So I see a bug here. You're not supposed to see this when you're seeing it. So let's see what's going on there. Loader. So had this is true. So when had this is false, login should not be displayed. So had this false. Let's take a look. Had this is false. Did I use the wrong name? It's called login. Oh. There we go. And so if you have, oh, it's not going to show that. Oh, I can log out. That's not the one. That's not the account button. Yeah, you don't see this stuff here. Now that's going to be one of the perks of registering your account, making a username. Changing your username. You don't know that you have a username. I'm not going to include headless accounts in like the leaderboards and stuff. It's going to be one of the reasons if you care about that kind of stuff. I personally would not create an account for that reason. But you don't create games just for yourself. That did not work. Why didn't that work? What's going on here? Oh, there's something wrong. No, that's not going to do anything. Playing the flag. You're supposed to add as null. Alright, so if player flag action go with that. But it shouldn't be null, so the question is why is it null? That's the problem with this, is that null counts. If I use D slant, it would bitch right now. Now we gotta see why. Console. Game. What am I doing? Immortality. Why are you? Oh, friggin'. Because it's null. But that's nullish. What the hell? I mean, it does that every time. But it's not null. It's not, no. It's not, no. Son of a... Still keeping on in there. I tried to put this up here. It's just not the right size. And I didn't really want to make it the right size. I like the 2-to-1 height. That's the banner. Konnichiwa. Hey, dude. What's up, man? How was your day or night going? Good. Glad to hear it. I meant to stream this morning. I was going to do some Diablo. Really? Long day at work or just work or school? I don't know. Yeah. Japan will do that sometimes. They'll warn you about it. They're pretty good about warning you about it a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance. But that's like great, and then the day of, you never remember until it's too late. My youngest, they often do it while she's trying to nap, and as you can imagine, you don't like that. So had some key moments here with my daughter. Alright, let's okay. Actually return the proper game file. Set the default as default. Huh. Well, I live in Japan, so I was just provide my end of the story on that. That's why I stream at weird times. Like, yeah, right now it is 2:30 in the afternoon. Source. Let's see. It's going to be subscribe. You copy that. And then we call it I think you said Watashi wa Amiri Jikan. So did you mean it like this? Like you're saying you don't have the time? Really? Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm really from America. America. or to 8 months. Is it? I'm gonna have to go. Alright, you can go back now. Thank you. See how bad that is. I'm with Amelia. Oh, I thought. Yeah, it might have been there. Come on. Alright, fine. It's not gonna be right. Anyway. I got you. Where are you from America? I'm from Oklahoma originally. Cool, cool. I used to work up in Washington, like in Seattle area. Yeah. So I was in Vancouver for a little while. Good deal. I almost moved to Wyoming. Like, we had a choice, like get some land out in Wyoming, or move here to Hiroshima. And I wanted to move to Wyoming, but I'd have me and 3 girls on some farmland in Wyoming, and they would not have enjoyed it. Maybe my daughters would have enjoyed it, but my wife would have been in the middle of nowhere by herself in a country she doesn't particularly like. Here, my daughters are surrounded by extended family, grandparents, cousins, like they're all within a 5-minute walk. And in America, my family's all spread out. So like, she has a cousin from my sister that they're the same age, weeks apart, but they've only seen each other 4 times in their life. And that's just because they live so far apart. Moving to Hiroshima is just like, it's just such a better situation for my kids. 99% of the reason I did it. In America, I mean, some people don't like America right now, and I don't understand that, but that's fine. I think that it depends on what you want out of life. And I don't really, people trying to ascribe that to the country itself. The country's, I don't know, I don't want to get into that. But I didn't move here because I don't like America. Japan's an alright country, but to me, I'm an American. I like being an American. But I like Japan. Like, I've come here multiple times. I met my wife here, you know, when I was on vacation. Yeah, and that's true. No, I'll give you that. It's tiring, right? But that's not the country's fault. I guess that's my kind of like my point of view when people say that kind of stuff. It's tiring, and I hate it too. You know, it's like it doesn't have to be. When I was growing up, you know, there were people with various political beliefs, and then you would just, you know, you just didn't bring it to the table, right? You just had your beers, you talked about the game or whatever it's going to be, and then you went on. You know, and now it's become so polarized that, you know, even associating with someone who has a stray opinion makes you the bad guy. Not that person, you. Why didn't you say? You know, fuck off. It's just, leave it alone. You know, like, unless they're hurting you, leave it alone. And that's on everybody. That's not on one side or the other. That's everybody. You know, everybody drinks beer. Everybody drinks wine. You know, whatever it's going to be. Just find the common ground. No. You know, we're going to bomb some Teslas because of someone I don't like. Or conversely, we're going to, you know, run people out of town because we don't, you know, it's like everyone does something stupid. Just leave it alone. I mean, here in Japan, the various political parties will get in vans with loudspeakers on top, and then they'll broadcast their political beliefs at all times. It's crazy, especially when it's political, like voting season. I mean, you thought it, and it's special and it's unique, but you can imagine that can get really annoying when they do it at 7 a.m. and your kid's like, nope. So, but I think it'll calm down. I think it will. I think right now it's a new year, a new president, that kind of stuff. And that's fine, right? I mean, mine are, it's a little hard to hide mine just as much, but I'm not what we'll probably suggest from either accent or hat. But yeah, hey, I try and keep it neutral. I do, because mostly because I believe everyone can be really, really stupid. Like, no matter what you believe or how much I agree with the majority of what you believe, we can all do really stupid shit. And that should be the fundamental viewpoint of people. Everybody can be stupid, even yourself. I am as smart as I'm supposed to be in the things that I can do. I can be a damn retard a lot of the time, and that's just, everybody can be stupid, and we just gotta let some people, and I mean some people, we just gotta let that happen. Like, so anyway, let's not talk about politics. Let's talk about games. And that's great. I mean, not great that you've done, it's that you can know it, right? That the whole, Plato, there are things, I know that I don't know things. I'm paraphrasing. That's basically it. And that's essentially being dumb, And then knowing that you can be dumb, just let it go, One thing that I think has gone out of fashion is just being embarrassed in public. Like, somebody says something about you that's not so flattering, or you do something, and then, like, they treat the emotion, oh, I've been emotionally scarred and PTSD because someone's saying happy birthday to me, and the people came out and made a big deal about it. Just be embarrassed. Your friends care about you. They're having fun. And even if you didn't quite enjoy it, because, it's at your expense, it's coming from a good place. So just, you could be embarrassed, you can be uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to be a life-altering event. Let things happen. I don't know, it is what it is, but I think that people are really wound up for no good reason. Yeah. So, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm going to modify a scene to be, so I was saying earlier, there are cases where you, like right now when you come to the website and you're not logged in, it creates an account for you. Contacts the server, an account is created. It's called a headless account. And that way, it's easier for you to upgrade. When you register, it just replaces the email of that headless account with your email, so that all of your save state from when you weren't registered is preserved, but also validated by the server. So you can't, cheat, kind of like if you play Diablo 2 offline and you manipulate your save file, and then you were able to upload that to an online account and then just accept it. So that can't happen, because now everything is controlled by the server, and when you do register, you don't lose anything, and then you just boop, and off you go. But right now, there's no kind of like upsell to tell you, hey, you should register, right? But I don't want it to be all over the place. And so right now, when you are registered, but you aren't paying for the advanced services, like for Duolingo and stuff, like get the extra flashcard sets, it tells you that when you die. So you die, you get your run information, here's how far you went, and the next screen is, by the way, would you like to learn more? Okay, well, there's a price for that. I'm going to put in that place, if you're a headless account, hey, you should register, which is free. You don't have, nothing changes, but now, if you lose this phone or you clear your cache, you can log in and get it back, right? It's just an upsell screen, in this case, to do something for free, but it needs to be there. There needs to be a continuous mechanism for nudging a person along, because if they don't, they'll have to find it themselves, and they're not gonna find it themselves. I've made this game such that you can come to this website and you can be playing in seconds. Just click the start button, you're done. You're playing. There's no barrier of entry. You don't have to log in, you don't have to install something, you don't have to do nothing. It's just a website. So you can come from Google search when I'm doing search engine marketing, kind of stuff, or you find it from X or Twitter or whatever you find it from. You are in the game 30 seconds instead of logging in, creating an account, blah 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 blah. No, none of that. But then there needs to be upsells that remind that person, oh, I can go from this to saving my stuff online so I can access it from anyone, to, oh, I really like this game, I want the extra, I've done the katakana, I know it perfectly, well, let's move on to grammar and vocab and yada yada yada. Those are the paid extras. That's where it's at. That's my idea for monetization. Free to play, and then you get some upsell. But you gotta have to actually upsell, and I don't want to be annoying about it. I don't want to have it all over the screen here. Subscribe. Oh, 2-for-1 deal. Every single screen. I don't want it on every single screen, right? I don't want it here, like, oh, hey, we gotta, whatever. I'm not doing any special currency kind of stuff either, right? There's no gems or whatever. I don't want to do any of that, even though it's ridiculously effective. So, but it's dark, it's a dark pattern type thing. So none of that. And so I need it there somewhere though, and I'm just going to do it at the end of a run, and that's going to be it. That's going to be the advertising for both registering, and then that's just moving you along the funnel. Google search, playing the game, registering, and every time you go, you get closer and closer, and then registering an account, and then upselling to paid services, and there you go. You have to build that. As gamers, and like a traditional game doesn't have to build that. They can just make their game and then sell their game however they want. The vast majority of games are not online live service type stuff. This game is closer to a SaaS product than it is a game. Even though I've heavily emphasized the game, the core of the business and monetization is more like just a regular website. And therefore you treat those bits like regular website stuff, which is what I do professionally. And so this is just, one day there'll be an actual app on the Steam store, and then if I can get that far, like Nintendo, like the Switch and whatnot. But for now, it's a website, and I'm gonna treat it like that. But it also means that, sorry, my wife is texting me. Some of the business of it is a little more mundane than, oh, it's a pretty little screen where you're killing enemies. Well, I've done all those screens, and now it's time to kind of clean this up for the other less game, more business. And that's fine. I've been, even when you weren't here, there was nobody else here. So this is the stream, right? And so I'm rubber ducking, which is, developer term for, I'm talking out loud to try and wrap my head around something. And so really I'm just talking to myself. But no, you do what you got to do. But anyway, that's where I'm at. So I'm building some more of the more mundane screens to make sure that there is a viable product on both sides of it. Even though when I'm done, I put it to open player testing. It's an alpha product, right? But it's an alpha product that is very, very done. It's just when it's alpha because a large body of people haven't played it yet. So I should have released it much earlier. I should have been pushing it and marketing it and doing all of that stuff that developers hate. But I haven't. And that's on mine. But it does mean that I have a more or less really polished product to push out there for player testing and then very quickly into actual monetization. But until then, I think though, let's look at the board here. So we got show a reminder to register, add option to resend confirmation email, show a reminder in the hub to confirm email, classic website stuff. But we do want those things. We want, validation of data. It's very important. And then the rest of the stuff is getting the nitty gritty, the graphics, the attack sounds. There are a couple elements of the UI that are more, they don't look like they belong in an RPG, like the progress bars and like your health bars. This is called Focal Board, and it's a desktop app that Focal Board. It's like a Trello, open source alternative. There you go. Open source alternative to Trello, and it does have a server component that you can install. So like I'm using the desktop app, it's not using that, but it's just Trello, but then free. And so I personally, I'm a big fan of Trello. I just don't like paying for it, and now I'm a big fan of this. It's got some issues. It's open source, and the open sourceness has kind of lagged a little lately, but my Mac version works just fine. And so it's on my machine, and I can export it and do what I want with it. And just not have to contact Trello. So, other than that, it's good stuff. I like it. I'm thinking about making a version of this, so like when it comes to feature development, and then players are, there's actually a player base of people playing. I would like to have a public version of this, but not Focal Board. It's not meant for this. What I want to have happen is people will have columns like this, but it's more like this column is I would pay for this, and this is like I really wish you had this. This is like, oh, if it happens, yay, and you're like, I don't want this, and then this is just everything else. And then you would, as a player, drag and drop the things that you want, right? Maybe you can go in and comment on it, but that way you have your set of things you care about, that person has their set, and then and then I can average those into a view of my own, and then I could really see where the value is. Oh, everybody wants this feature, right? 50% of the people want this feature, 25%, and then after things are rolling, I could really, just boom, they're telling me what they want, what they pay for, what they really like as a player, yada, yada, yada. And I think that would have a lot of value. But I'm not there yet. So, when these numbers are done, in fact, you can look at the numbers here, 223 done, 30 won't do, but if you add up what's left, it's like 437, which is a good number. There's less than 50, 60 things left to do. And so the game really is getting to that point where there's not much left to do in it other than have to play it and try and market it. And since I'm not doing Steam out of the gate, I'm not doing, so there's a lot of ways to market a Steam game that's very specific to Steam and getting your wish list and getting your other stuff. This is really going to almost be SaaS marketing. It's just a website, so you just got to market it as a website and target the Duolingo clouds. Like, hey, not every day you want to play Duolingo. You want to use Duolingo for a half hour and just mindlessly do flashcards. Now you can play a little game. You're not getting as much of the education as Duolingo, and that's on purpose, because it's 80% game, 20% education. But in theory, it's more fun. So you're reinforcing what you have learned, and maybe you pre-learn fragments of things that you will then properly learn in Duolingo. You should always use something like Duolingo, Anki, Memrise, I'm blanking on some extras, but you'd always use a primary source. I don't want to be a primary source. I want to be a secondary source that you're doing more in downtime. And then you're using that, you're picking flashcard sets that you've already learned, so you're reinforcing it in a way that is not about reinforcing it. That's, to me, is the hook, is that you are not playing this game to learn Japanese. You're playing this game to use knowledge that you have of the Japanese to play the game better. Because doing the combos in the game, doing the extra stuff, you know, winning and getting deeper into the maze will be contingent on you getting the flashcards right, which is a hook to learn both through this game and other sources the information, right? It's a difference in how you do it. So for instance, if I get this card wrong, then, you know, then I don't get the benefit. But I've learned here, my mind has learned that was the answer. What I picked was not the answer. So next time I see that, you know, and if I'm really into the game, if I like this game, then I've incentivized myself to learn that information in a outside of any other reason I want to. You're layering reasons to do it. It's adding motivation. And in this case, it's like when you're using Duolingo, your motivation has to be from yourself. I am happy I got that card right. I am sad I got that card wrong. What kind of happens in my experience is you become numb. You're not that excited when you answer a card correctly. You're not that excited when you get that card wrong. Because all you've done is either reinforce knowledge that you knew, or got it right accidentally, or you got it wrong. And, okay, we'll just move on. Next time I'll get it right. And then eventually you'll brute force it. Here, it's literally, if I get it right, I get something. If I don't get it right, I don't get something. It's very immediate. And that's the point. That's the hook that I've tried to make. You are getting something every single time you get a flashcard right. And so if that appeals to you, you know, as a player, which it usually does, right? If you hit a combo, that's always a good feeling, you know? You get the timing right in a fighting game, or you do the right button combination in an RPG. Those are good feelings. So that's skill. And so in Duolingo, it's flat. And I'm not trying to knock on Duolingo. I'm just trying to use it as, well, Duolingo's good, but can we improve the feedback? And you still need to use Duolingo at the end of the day. So here, I have added the incentive to every single flashcard. You want to play this game better, you better start learning the information appropriately. And so when you're playing Duolingo, you know, there could be extra incentive to actually pay attention. Now you're not just learning the language because you're learning the language, you're learning the language to play this game better. And if that hook applies to you at all, you should be able to use that for the bigger motivation, which should not be to play this game. Okay, I want to go to Japan. I want to read manga. I want to watch anime without subtitles. Like, you should be able to reinforce yourself with those readings. It is play at immortaliagame.com. I'll put it in the chat. But the current version that's up, that is not a good sign. Oh, I don't know why it didn't put there. I don't know why. What is this? All right. You got a problem. My certificate's invalid. But why is that? I used Let's Encrypt. Wait, Let's Encrypt. That's weird. Anyway, I'll put it here, and I'm gonna fix this. And I may have to turn the browser off and see some stuff that I don't want to show online. Oh, this. Maybe you can see that. Oh. Okay, so why? Okay, so it's doing the... Alright, this might have... It might have ended mine. Because that's pretty bad. I'm pretty sure I redid my... Can you actually play it? Are you getting... Because when I went there, it was not doing what it was supposed to. I guess you can do the unsafe keep going thing. Well, this is the game I'm working on, so I appreciate that. So, like, I've tried to set it up so that, you know, I went for the pixel graphics here, and then you can see, like, I've crunched it down even further, because I want there to be zero barriers for the player. Like, the whole app is less than, I think, 20 megs, and most of that's graphics, so you can get in and be playing. It's got I call it the Uber preloader, that's loading the stuff in the background, but it'll load what it needs to play that scene, which is usually very little. And then as you go through the game, it'll preload as needed. Yeah, and I'm fixing that right now. So we're gonna get there, and I appreciate you. So you just bookmark that, and the version that's up there right now is slightly old. I've been that version is not powered by the server, right? That's the old version that I was building the game first, so it was the game doing its business. Now there's a new version where it's split between the client and the server. That's what I'm working on now, and I've been trying to get it to the point where it's done, but I keep encountering bugs. But that's life, right? That's life. So it'll play exactly like the game I've got here that I'm working on. It'll just be different, and when I do finish this, your save file will be done. It'll be gone, unfortunately. That's facts of life, unfortunately. But it's an alpha product. So what can I say? One day I'll have some stuff where it can go from player file version to player file version, but I'm not there yet. But you know, it's just flashcards. So the more flashcards you answer, the more you know. So I've learned, you know, katakana has always been kind of a weakness for me in kind of some of the, you know, the ones that kind of look alike. So I've been answering flashcards left and right. My kids play this, and you know, go for it. So when you do that, I'm gonna work on diagnosing this bug. Because I did renew the certificate. What am I doing? Yeah. So I have a whole slate of 50-50 questions cards. They're not enabled for things. Right. And so I have a lot of questions like that no, there's a couple things there. I'm not going to do kanji as sets. It's better that you just learn the words that have kanji in them. Learning the kanji in and of themselves, it makes things more complicated. When you're a child, it's a lot easier because you're not learning the kanji as much as you're learning what it looks like. But when you're an adult, your brain can do that a lot easier. And so learning the words when they have kanji is better. It's also faster. So you can just learn that kanji and that, you know, kanji in the word nani, and then you see nani written on the wall of the kanji, your brain goes there. And if you do it the other way, you learn the kanji, it'll get in the way of the words. So something, because, you know, kanji have their own meaning, and the word might not have that meaning when it's that kanji and that kanji together. It happens all the time where you're like, what's dog water? And it's like, oh no, that means, you know, tunnel, right? And it's like, why? It doesn't matter. It's just what the word is. And so learning the words is more important because you can parse the kanji meaning from it, and it doesn't really matter what the actual kanji means because you're never going to use them outside of words. You're always going to be using them for it. So just learn the word. But yes, you can still do what you're saying, just instead of just the kanji nani, you just use the word, like nanka, which means something. And another type of flashcard is called a cloze, C-L-O-Z-E, where you have a sentence and then a word's missing. Those are very useful for learning. because you can put a lot of, for one, you can use that structure for a lot of words. I went to the store. I went to the arcade. I went to my friend's house. You can put a lot of words into most sentences, and the sentence remains, which means you're getting reinforcement on the part that you're not actually learning. The I went to, well, you see that in Japanese. Well, when you can answer the question, you're actually learning this other part too, without directly learning it. And so close flashcards are very important. I've just, again, alpha product. I haven't gotten all of the pieces for all the various types of flashcards that I want. One that I do want is for conjugation. Take this word from this conjugation to this conjugation. That one's a big deal. And so that'll be one that I'll have later. Because even for me, conjugation is awful for Japanese. But I also want to introduce other languages. So so my daughter, she's half Japanese, so she's using it to learn Japanese from a Japanese perspective. So I want to be able to, I apologize, sorry about that. I want to be able to teach, I want to market it here in Japan to learn Japanese, right? Which means I have to make sure that it can be taught. It can teach the material to Japanese people, and more importantly, Japanese kids. And so that'll change the type of thing. So they teach their stuff, like you got like the JLPT test, for Japanese proficiency from 5 to 1. They don't use that for their own people. They just teach grade school up the grades and then high school and whatnot. And so you teach your material differently. So I want to have courses for that, which is the grade 1 course, the grade 2 course, and it teaches the appropriate for that grade. So the kid can play that course while he's in that grade, right? And that's the reinforcement part. He's playing information that he's either learned or in the area that he could be learning. He should already know those kanji as a kid. He's grown up in Japan, so more or less, and then he's going to have absorbed that information and just not have the proper definitions in his head. And therefore, there's the reinforcement. So anyway, I want to teach Japanese to non-Japanese speakers, be able to teach it to Japanese people, so like children, and then also other languages, English, Spanish, Chinese, Korean, right? This can work for any language, not just, in fact, not even language, just languages. You can teach math, you can teach the bones, you can teach physics. The flashcard apparatus is the drop-in, which means you can play this game without the flashcard, and it works just the same. You can just throw the cards on the table and get the bonus, and that's the whole point, right? That's how I designed the game. And then I took away that you get the bonus automatically. You have to work and do an extra step. And so that extra step can be anything. It could be answering a CAPTCHA. It could be solving a math problem. It could, in this case, answering a language question. So the opportunity to expand this, and then, like, you got your Anki deck, for learning a language, and then you don't have to just do math. There's all kinds of other decks that Anki can do for science and other things that you could have. One mode that I'm working on is you don't pick the language set or the flashcard set. You just let an AI tell you, or don't do it for you. So you could have, it's a flashcard answer. It's a map in the same battle, in the same setup. Because it's like, okay, very much like how it's picking, it's not just random when you have an account. It tries to pick on kind of a biorhythm scale, so that the game is not just trying to give you like SRS, space repetition, or space repetition series, something like that, where it's trying to teach you a flashcard at the right moment at the right time. I'm not trying to do that. That's boring, because in theory, you're always trying to get the flashcard that you should know, and that's how it's lining it up. And then when you forget, you're putting it back into the I didn't know that. But it's always trying to hit you with things that you're supposed to know. Well, that sounds boring when you look at it from the a moment to moment gameplay. Like you're not, you're just, for instance, a game set. You're fighting the boss. You got 2 HP left, right? And it's a boss, so the flashcards should be harder because you're fighting a boss. Like they're the only real tweaks are the boss has more health and does more damage, but you can modulate that so that the flashcards are harder. So it's asking you more questions that you don't know, which means you should feel a better response when the boss is about to kill you, but then you get 2 flashcards in a row that you didn't know. And now you're winning. The boss is dead. In theory, you should have an emotional response to that, that you felt good that you answered those flashcards at a clutch moment. So the information that was on the flashcards should embed deeper because you were excited that you actually did something that mattered outside of the information that you learned or reinforced. I keep saying in theory because that's my theory. That's why I made the game. That's why I'm doing this, is that I think that is an opportunity to explore emotional learning that is more effective than like having a sad story and then, oh, he learned how to calculate a squared plus b squared equals c squared. No, it's more player-led emotionality, hooking into why people play video games in the first place. That second-to-second granular dopamine response, and using that for learning. So, it's all fun and games and all talk, and you can see how much I am invested in that. But we'll see how that actually scans out, man. All right, man. You have a good one. Get a good rest, and I'll talk to you later. All right. Where am I going? I'm going the wrong thing. So, Venus. Wait, what? Why is there only... Okay. Alright, so digital ocean. So why? That's fine. It expires today. That's crazy. There's no way. That is crazy. It expired an hour ago. Am I reading that correctly? Thursday, March 20th, 2025 at 2:03:15. It is 3:15. It's literally an hour ago. The certificate, but it's supposed to auto-update. And I updated it manually. I'm gonna turn you off. Hold on. That would tell you the server IP. We don't want that. So I apologize. So what happens if I... this thing... But I did. I don't... not what I meant to work on today. I'm glad he came by. I'm glad he came by. These files are fine. Oh. Change. Down. Okay. Alright. Oh, yes, etc. Next, that's visible. Full chain. Okay, so the full chain one. Good man. Ah, that's going to be a problem. Huh. Hopefully, I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't clap. But hopefully that means hopefully that fixes the problem. And hopefully I do not have to do that again. Oh, I'm sorry, you can see that. I fixed the problem. So give me a second. yeah, riveting, but I'm renewing the SSL cert. And it's sensitive information that I don't want to show on stream. So, but it appears to be done. So now you can go back and to the website and say, give me a. So one last thing. Digital version. Let's fix that. Well, again. And restart the server because there's updates to be. Continue. And then there we go. Right. One more second. Particularly care about most of those. I'll do it because I'm here. Alright, I think I can go back to this. Alright. That's better to look at my face. So. Oh, alright. That's crazy that the SSL cert expired 1 hour ago. And someone actually just tried to play it. But that's life, and so now it's fixed, and hopefully the certbot will automatically. The issue was that it had, like, I had done it manually, but I guess I did it wrong, because 2 of the certs had the right date, but 1 didn't, and it was reading that date that was wrong, and so it was like, nope. Bonk. Okay. Back to the lobby. Not that you can see my password, but still. I'm just going to restart the production server. I don't think it doesn't appear like it'll affect anybody. Really? You want me to? So are you gonna shut down? Come on, sir. I have been in a constant stream of bugs. But that's good. Like, you know, you find out where the leaky faucets are, or the leaks are. And so, stable product. It's, it's not where I wanted to be. So, yeah. Server back on. I didn't. Yeah. I didn't use the R flag, so it didn't come back on. Sad cowboy. All right. See if I can bang this out in the next half hour, and then we can go play some Diablo 2. My brain. Oh. Okay, so start. I'm gonna give myself 0 health. I should end the game immediately. What's your problem? Let's not commit that. So that should end this in one turn. Yeah, because your health should never be 0. So you're dividing by 0. That's all I'm getting to say. Boy. Alright, we got defeat and new run. exactly right there. All right. Scene. Register. So this is a scene that is upselling the idea of registering an account, which is free. It can be done, you know, if you're not logged in. The button right here. Let me put a link to the. This is actually a good point. I need to be logged out anyway. So yeah, sign in register. We want to have this bit basically injected into the register. So like, hey, you should register because of all these reasons. Hey, here's the form. And then you don't want to keep going. First, before we get to that, we got to get the flow from screen to screen to this area. So close. All this stuff. And really, that should. Okay, so now. Initialize, register, see, yep, I'm doing this by hand. Because once I'm done, it's done. I don't have to make a big system to do this automatically. A couple of minutes out of my life and then it's done. Alright. Yeah. Now we want run and loader. Okay, it's already set up. It's already set up. So if count is headless, register, send the send hub. Register, send the send run. Done. Now we go. We go and die. Yeah, you're fine. That does bug me though. That does bug me. Ah. Okay. What do you care? That's not even what I thought it was. I mean, that is what I thought it was. It just, that's not what I thought it was. Doesn't matter. Ugh. Toki. No scene. Oh, because there's no scene register. cycle. Oh, there we go. To the new run. After you register an account, it's free. And then all the reasons or why you should do that is here, plus the form. Alright, we are prepped. Alright, so component, authenticate model. He's gonna yoink this. That's the one we're gonna yoink. Now we're gonna rename you away from 2. So you're gonna move roll. Continue. Good. Here is we're going to turn this into a component. No, I'm not going to turn it into a component. I should, but I'm not. I don't got time for that. So we're going to that's something for later. Because you don't know if this will survive. There's no way. You don't know if this will survive. So something missing. Okay. Almost got this. What am I missing? ID password. Oh, password. Look. Yeah, much stuff here. Where are you? You are not. All the shit inside here is not working. Okay. Lovely. So, you don't need to be inside this. You can be here. Should change don't need to forget password. Registering, there's no password to forget. I'm not writing code to bypass this. It's a waste of time. So it hurts. It hurts. It hurts, but you know, that's life. So you're doing oh, it's there's some weird stuff that happens inside web components. For instance, look here. See that right there? There's not a Apple header. No, thank you. Doesn't matter. There's just a gray border here. important is the fuck off TypeScript to CSS. There it is. Alright, so now. Toggle. Oh, because she's more than one. Right, there's the login and then the. I don't need both, but what I can do. That's. Does it not do anything? Okay. Doing that. Are you doing that? I'm missing. So I'm doing this part. A bit much. Do I need that? It's pretty obvious, right? Well, the question is, do I put stuff on top or below? So, pretty much that's exactly it. Um, Excess. I don't want to put too many things on it. I want them to see that you've got the form right there. I really wish there was a way that would just do that. That's the thing I'm working on. Yeah, there we go. So, I think that's enough. You can see the form there. So boom, boom, boom. And then it'll go. So. Alright. Now, you take business here. This is literally all it is. I'm just gonna throw it in there, so well, what am I doing? Stop password. What are you doing all this shit? Oh, because it does a pop-up. Cosita. Register, store, email, what? Radio, go up. Copy this. Why are you duplicating? Why? So you don't like. That easy. That easy. Now I'm logged in. It's that easy. Now I was using a lot of stuff that I already built, and I kind of jury-rigged it a little bit, but that's okay. It works. It works, and that's how it. And now, okay, so we're gonna do it again. I got the email. I got the email. Now we're gonna do it again. This time, when you die, this is already set up. So now when you die, you are a registered user, so you get a different upsell. You get the hey, maybe you want to buy something. Maybe you want to be an alpha supporter. You're done. That's it. It's the only guys in the game. And yeah, now you can change your stuff. Alright, so you know that's going to happen enough. I do that all the time. So we're going to change when you're logged in. Alright, so let's see here. So I do. Alright. So, settings, okay, that's in there now. And now, true, we're gonna hide. I'm gonna turn this into a function. Possibly. For now, really? We're gonna have to fix that. It's one of the older scenes. So, okay, so. Really? What is it setting things? Hey, I clicked. Oh, you click. See, is not doing the thing. Okay, so. Oh, my dumbass. Dumbass. And then I log in. That's not what I meant to do. Now I can see it. All right. Well, I can fix that. Yeah. Nice. I like that. Okay. Undo this. And undo this. Undid some. All right. I think I'm good for today. All right. Let us move. All right. Edit. Diablo 2 time. Act 2. And so it's edit. I can't. I gotta turn off. Edit. Okay. You in there? Alright. Game capture. There you go. There you go. There. Alright, we're not gonna get a lot done. It's already almost 5 here, and my wife, because of my hurt back, she's been a stickler. So we're probably only gonna get the one quest on it, because I just started Act 2. So we're gonna see how far we get till my wife calls. But I should be able to take down the first quest. So I'm clicking on OBS. I need to get to level 17. I get to level 17, and I can use the staff that I've decked out with poison. More of an angry mage type playstyle. I don't really have to actually talk to the woman to do this, but I kind of like to do that. Oh, I should. Okay. And actually, before I go there.
How do I know it? Not enough mana. Not enough mana. Not enough mana. I need mana.
Isn't there a... Pretty sure it's on the second floor.
Not enough mana.
Good day.
I know not.
Good evening.
feel like I'm getting close. Oh, you timed the very moments there. Close enough, but we gotta get those higher levels. Okay, so 50% pretty dang good. That's pretty dang good too.
Hello. Good evening.
While we're here. I'll hold on to that for just a little while. All right.
Not enough mana. What a misguided monster. I can't carry anymore. I can't carry anymore.
Alright. I actually did that right at 5.
Oh,
How may I help you?
Good riddance. Good riddance. No. No.
welcome to my shop.
Who needs inventory space? Okay. Return to app.
They say that the...
Alright, so that's where we're leaving it off. Then we're gonna... tomorrow, we'll do some Act 2 stuff. Get the staff. And then get the cube. And we'll be rocking. And now I'm gonna go home, eat dinner, some time with my family. And that's it. And then do more work on the game. So now with we don't have much left. In fact, we switch back over here. Why is that so slow? Why am I all like this? OBS, you fine? You working? You doing good? That seems fine. It's weird, whatever. We're almost done. We're almost done. So, this stuff is actually not that high priority. In fact, we're gonna put it here. Tomorrow, I'm gonna do that. Because that means it could actually take the money. Not that anyone's going to do that right off the bat. Not the point. It's not the point. The point is the ability exists from day one. And then this is the outstanding stuff, and then I start adding more game content. Yeah. That's what we're doing. Alright. I don't know why I'm low FPS in this bullshit, and especially with the... I think if I... Yeah. So it's the... Hold on. No, that's not at all. There's something here that just doesn't like. So if I turn that off, we're good. But if I do that, we're not. Don't know. Whatever. We'll deal with it another time. For now, thank you for coming out. We're getting there. We are rapidly approaching deployment of the latest version, and that we can actually have people play testing on. So, good times. Alright. Adios.